big poppin'. Money in the bank coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me big poppin'. Money in the bank coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me what the topic.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the bar. It's your favorite goss and doc tender, that girl Henny, and today we are pouring up on a lot of court doc updates. So if you are new here, welcome, welcome. Please be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Click that notification bell, select all so that you get notified whenever I do a video. And if you are a returning Mob Down Henny Gang member, yeah. Now let's get into all that we are about to spill on. So yesterday, was it yesterday or was it the day before yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. Whenever it was, I did it. Nope, it was day before. I did an update on Blueface, and I had let everyone know that Blueface had another lawsuit that was reinstated and has an HOA lien that was added to the lien that was already on his home. But of course, you know, people cannot let Blueface be spoken about without speaking on Chrisean and vice versa, even though the two are not together. And Chrisean has made it very clear that she has moved in a whole nother direction away from all of the chaos that has become the Blueface circus and house of horrors. Yes, I've said it. I've been saying that for a very long time now, that this has turned into a house of horrors, but we're not here to talk about that. We'll talk about that in another video because there's a whole lot of going on over there, child. But Chrisean also had some lawsuits that were going on herself, and those lawsuits were going on prior to her going to spend some time in Click Click City in Oklahoma. And around that time, when Chrisean had been arrested in LA, which we'll break all of this down in a moment. Wack was out here talking about she had warrants in Arizona and in this place and that place, and said she had about 5 different warrants. And I did my due diligence, and I was able to tell y'all that it was only 2. But while those 2 warrants were being dealt with while she was sitting down, there were civil suits that came out. So we're going to get into an update with the civil suits and all that has been going on, because the last time that I brought you one, I believe James had been awarded 30 something $1,000. But we'll get into what's going on with that. Also, it was announced yesterday that Adam 22 and Lena the Plug are divorcing. Dun, 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 I know. But what's really going on? Is this a real divorce? Or is this just a play that is being run? Well, it looks like I'm not the only one that feels like this could possibly be a play, and that Adam may be trying to wiggle his way out of some lawsuits and possibly even some contracts. Child, we gonna get into it. I'm not the only one, like I said, because DJ Academic seems to feel the same way. I will play a clip of that. And finally, there's a lot that is going on in the universe of Diddy. And I know that it has been a long time since we have spoken on anything that was going on with him. And the last time that we did do anything on Diddy, he has been awaiting for what was supposed to be an expedited appeal, but it seems like it's taking a little longer, doesn't it? He's appealing his case in a Southern District of New York Appellate Court, and we haven't had any word on it. But while we haven't had any word back on his appeal, there has been freak off tapes that have been leaked, and it looks like Cassie's friends, Brianna Bongalan and Deontay Nash, are suing Diddy. Oh, yes, they're suing Diddy. And it looks like some of the escorts are coming after Diddy and Cassie as well. And baby, it's just a whole lot that has been going on the Diddy docs of everything. And we're going to pour up on all of it. But first, where should I go first? Let's talk about Adam 22 first, because I know what everybody wants me to talk about, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. So let's get these court docs the way that I like my court doc screen, so that I forgot I put one like that for Twitch. So let's go ahead and let's share the screen, and let's get Lena and Adam's court docs up here, and let's take a look at all that is going on. Okay, so boom, I was in the right place. I have all the docs, baby. These were filed These were filed in the Central District of LA, and Lena is the one who is seeking the divorce. Now, let me close this out so we can have this screen the way we need it. Okay, let's get this out of here, and then let's also go ahead and let's put our watermark up. And let's get into these court docs, baby, shall we? So it looks like this paperwork was filed on June 1st of 2026 at 12:21 p.m. by Lena, who will be self-represented in this divorce proceeding. Now, Lena is asking for a dissolution of their marriage, okay? The date that they were married was 5/18/2023, which means that they were married for a time of they were married 5/18/2023, and their date of their separation was 4/15/2026, which means that the time of their marriage to the date of their separation was 2 years and 10 months. They do share one minor child in common. Her name has been redacted to protect the minor in question here. You shouldn't want to know the minor's name. It's none of your business. Now, Lena is asking for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences. Now, if this turns out to be true, I'm curious as to what the irreconcilable differences could be, because as we all know, they do Plug Talk, which is a show where they interview adult corn stars and then they take them in the back and they bow chicka wow wow. Oh yeah. Mhm. 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 And everybody was all the buzz about Adam allowing Lena to go sleep with what was his name? Jason Love. Is that his name? Was it Jason Love? I don't know, cuz I wasn't, me personally, I was not impressed by anything that I saw. No offense to Jason Love, but he's just not my type. It's just not my type. So I don't know. People are saying they're wondering if Adam cheated on her, but how do you cheat in a situation where it seems like you guys have an open marriage? So I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But these are actual court documents that were actually filed. Okay. So spousal or domestic partner support is what Lena is looking for. She wants spousal support, and she wants to terminate the court's ability to award any support to Adam. So you gonna pay me and you ain't gonna get in return. But that's not the only thing that Lena is looking for, because Lena is always also asking for custody of their child. Okay, she wants physical custody of their daughter, and she also wants the daughter to live with her. Now, let me explain this to you. It was Jason Love. Okay, thank you, Be More. So a lot of people don't know this, but if you don't go to court to establish custody, nobody has custody of your child. And your child can live with you all you want them to. And guess what? You still are not considered to be a custodial parent. Okay, so let me just tell y'all what's going on here right now, okay? There was a little blunder that happened. Somebody didn't want me to have my little caffeine break. And so I had tried to quickly get it up, and it looks like I might have missed some spots. But anyway, let's continue. So, just because a child lived with you does not mean that you have full custody of the child. So, you have to legally go into court and establish custody. So, she's saying she wants custody, all right? And she wants the child to live with her, granting Adam visitation, all right? She wants to give him reasonable rights of parenting time to visit with their daughter. She did also go on to get into an expense declaration where it looks like they would be splitting the assets. They would be splitting any income that is coming in. Now, this right here, let me highlight this. This is spousal support from the marriage. Okay, Lena is asking for $3,000 a month in spousal support from Adam. That doesn't seem like it's unreasonable, right? To be asking for $3,000 a month. Well, let's get into some of these assets over here, shall we? Nope, that's the wrong one. That's it right there. That's the one. That's the one we're looking for, I think. Nope. Where the hell is it? What the hell is going on? Okay. Oh, sorry, y'all. Let me go ahead and let me do this. Are y'all on that screen? Yeah, replace that one. Okay, we are on the right screen. Okay, I had to make sure. So let's zoom in here. All right, so this is what the estimate, because Lena was saying that she doesn't know the exact amount of everything. That's what she had said in this court document. Where the hell is it? Because it's so damn tiny that when it takes when it comes down to, and that's the thing about these documents right here, when if I right here, okay, spousal or domestic partner support. So it says permission is required, permission to require spouse to disclose all property owned, income, and expenses, and to compel spouse to obtain appraisals for intangible assets such as social media accounts, the podcast. Further, I am requesting the courts to compel spouse to pay for divorce mediation and representation. I have no access to any financial resources in this marriage or actual financial information. So all amounts entered are estimates. Thank you for your consideration. Now, I found that very interesting because as his wife, you're telling me that you don't have access to the financial portfolio, a portfolio that the two of you together over the course of the past 2 years and 10 months have built together. It's possible, but it is also one of those things that make you go home. Now, when we get over here to what it comes down to, these are the estimates that she's saying. So Lena is estimating that their equipment, their entertainment studio, is worth $1,152,000. Okay, she's asking for it to be awarded, for her to be awarded half of that, which would be 576,000 is what she's asking for when it comes down to that equipment. All of the home furnishings, she's saying they are all of the home furnishings, she's saying they are valued at $50,000. She is asking for a total of all of the home furnishings and appliances. All right. The jewelry, antiques, the art, coin collections, whatever. She's saying that that's valued at $20,000 and she wants all of it, leaving Adam with no portions of that. In their savings account, Lena is saying that they have a total of $100,000 in their savings account. Lena is asking for that to be split equally between the two of them, with both of them walking away with $50,000. Cash on hand that they would have, which would also be considered their checking account. She's alleging that they only have $5,000 in their checking account. I don't believe that. Do y'all believe that? If you don't believe that they only have $5,000 in their checking account, drop them henny glasses in the chat. Okay, let's continue. Now, there's nothing else, no stocks, no bonds, no life insurance, no profit sharing, no accounts receivable information, no partnerships, no business interests, no none of that. But underneath other assets, she does list the No Jumper podcast. And she lists No Jumper podcast as $20,000. She wants $10,000 and leaving him with $10,000. Plug Talk is valued at $20,000. She wants $10,000 and she wants to give Adam $10,000. But when it comes to the social media accounts, Lena the Plug, she says that's valued at $20,000 and she wants all of it. All right. At the end of this, Lena is looking to walk away with a total of $738,500, and Adam is looking at walking away with $72,500 once they split everything up. Now, again, this is just, and I think this is the debts. According to Lena, they have no debts that they have accumulated together. Now, people are skeptical of this because of the timing of it all. We know that Adam has these lawsuits for the No Jumper incident that are happening. Mm-hmm. Adam also may have some things going on, like a contract maybe. Let me see. I was supposed to be okay. I did not receive the clip. I did not receive the clip. Okay, there we go. I got it. I think. Okay, so when I said I'm not the only one that thinks that this is fake, academics also feels like this is fake. Now, I'm not going to be vague. Fuck it. I don't beat around the bush. I'm not about to start beating around the bush. So here's what I think. I think, and Hitting Legal thinks, and we think, that this could be a way for Adam to get out of whatever contract he has going with WAC. Could be, could be, could be. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Could be a way to protect the assets so that should these lawsuits come down, Adam doesn't have very much in the way of assets. Listen, when WAC is involved, there's no telling. The possibilities of a flim flam being run are endless. All right. Now, I'm going to play what DJ Academics had to say. What is going on? It better be something. The internet better be on fire. Hold on. Okay. That will go in for my next show. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now let's hear what Academics has to say, because Academics thinks that this is a play as well.
I have all the documents. So I'm
I
going to
do
tell you why I
too.
think it's fake.
Why? Why do you think it's fake?
Here's a document.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I told you, is filed without an attorney.
Okay, first of all, let me just say this. This video and its content are being used underneath the guides and protections of the Fair Use Act. We are using this for review, for commentary, and possible educational moments. Any information given in this review from the content that is being used is not that of this content creator or its channel. Thank you very much.
But I'm not trying to make this climactic or nothing like that. The reason why I believe this is not real, number one, the dates are too, it makes too much for a storyline. You file for divorce on your birthday. They list the date of separation as April 15th, which is tax day, right? And okay, so those two things already is like, that's meant for a story, right? Now, once you open the document, and this is the document that she filed, it's a very basic document that she filed with the county clerk of LA County.
I would say that it's the standard because there's no other document that anyone files. These are the same documents. Hold on. Ugh. These are the same documents that Kim filed. These are the same documents that everyone filed. So they're standard documents. And him bringing up the fact that this was filed on Lena's birthday and on tax day. The birthday thing is kind of suspicious unless she's trying to give herself a birthday gift. Possible. Don't know, but let's continue.
The reason why I don't believe it is that, and I'm not trying to dox anyone, but
you are.
The name is right. Don't look up people's address, but I'm pretty sure that stuff's probably out there. The problem comes in when you go to the contact information.
Okay.
So the contact information for Lena allegedly is this number. Now, I don't have to Google it. Well, I'll just Google it. Let's Google the number. If you Google a number, you'll realize this is a New York number that comes back to a bunch of other things that people sometimes have associated with a scam.
Okay, so because she has an 845 number, he's saying that he believes an 845 is a New York area code, one of them. There are several. There's 718. I don't even think they use 718 anymore. 917, 212, 845, 914. There's a bunch of area codes for New York. 845 is one of them, and he's saying that this number is coming back to a number that is possibly linked to some type of scamming. Now, I'm not going to go and dox anybody, but If somebody else is gonna go and do the legwork, then
Okay, you could look up the number. Okay.
hmm why would you
Um,
wait a minute? Wait a minute. Don't look up the number. I'm not going to encourage anybody to look up the number. You know what? I should have watched this all the way through ahead of time. We're not going to do that. Do not go looking up the number. Do not go doxing people. Don't do that. Just, I'm going to say, don't do that.
the only time it was a real number, it came back to a photography company, and that company now goes to nowhere. Now, what's even better is the email. So this is supposedly Lena's email. Now, if you Google this email, and this is what I'm saying, this is complete bullshit. You Google this email, let me type it in. Was it Brenda Kate60@gmail.com? When you type that in, only back pages come up. That's not her email, bro. Okay.
I have questions though. Like, why are we at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, okay? I still think that they're running a play. I don't know if it's to get out of the contract. It could be. I don't know if it's to protect assets from what's possibly going down with the no jumper lawsuits. It could be those things. It could also be for publicity for a project that's coming up, because isn't Lena supposed to be doing something? I was calling her Lena. It's Lena. My bad. Um, isn't there supposed to be something that she's doing? I think in New York or something like that. She has something that she's doing. So this could be for promotion. It could be for traction. Let me tell you what my take on things are when it comes to LA content, especially when anybody orbits in the universe when it comes down to whack. Like if you're close in proximity with him, and if you're like this, a business partner with him, I'm definitely side eyeing anything that you do, because you never know what's a play. So this could very well be a play. I'm skeptical of it. I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical.
This is some scam page
Mm-hmm.
that has, and by the way, if you click on these links, it's a
Mm-hmm.
picture of Lena, but Lena, this is May 2nd, 2026. Lena isn't on Backpage in 2026, my nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like she's on
How do you know that?
Anyway, what this screams to me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What?
It's a non-New York number. This email address, if you actually like, there's more like links, but like I think I'm in safe mode because I'm on stream.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into, it's a scam email address. I personally believe that this document is a real document filed in LA County Court.
Right,
It's just
it
not filed
is.
by Lena.
What
Did
do
you get what
mean?
I'm saying? So it's a real document.
Oh.
Definitely a real document. So somebody has committed a crime because they do sign for her. If you go down, they do sign for her.
So interesting. So academics' take on this is that someone else filed these court documents and committed a crime of forgery, that they're real documents, but Lena didn't sign them. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Should we let him continue? Let's let him continue.
And it's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in the system.
Let me see. There's somewhere, or it might be on the other document. It's like 7 documents. Look. Oh yeah, they submitted this electronically, Chad.
Uh-huh.
So the signature is just typing her name. The signature is just typing her name. There's other things that's clear in making me realize this is fake.
Okay. How?
When it comes to disclosures about the property,
Uh-huh.
right? Like Adam has a warehouse that they have a mortgage on. A mortgage I believe is for over like $3.5 million or close to 5 from what I've heard. She lists the property worth, or not she, this person lists the property worth as 1.1 million. Also, Lena has multiple houses. I know this from talking to her. And you can look it up via property records. It actually doesn't even list the ownership of that. It's fan made it.
Now, remember, I did say to you that sounds very suspicious that, the as a wife, you don't have access to your financial portfolio that you have with your husband. Now, I didn't think of somebody else doing this because, I mean, who would want to commit this crime? But everybody files electronically. People file electronically every day. So the electronic filing thing, that doesn't sit well as far as that being proof of anything because everybody submits um electronically to the courthouse like you can. The crazy part about all of this is that when I seen it, I didn't believe it. I still don't all the way 100% believe that this is real. I don't. It's the motive behind it that I'm trying to figure out. But academics does bring up something. But then again, could academics be spinning this because, he's like this and in very close proximity? And the reason I'm asking that is because academics would know personal information about Adam and Lena, not their financial portfolios and all of that stuff, but he would know, like if you talk to Lena, then you would know Lena's phone number, right? I mean, I'm just asking a question. You would know Lena's phone number. You would know whether or not Lena and Adam have separated and that they are working together, well, separately. You would know if any of that happened. But let's continue.
It's not her. So again, I don't think they're in on it. I think some stalker did this. However, maybe it's somebody who is working with them that's doing this and they're playing a video. Depending on what they do, it'll tell me if they were in on it or this is a erroneous filing. But it doesn't appear to be real. Now, here's the problem. It's a crime to put in a fraudulent divorce filing.
Exactly. So who's committing this crime? Hey, Blue Rock, we miss you in these internet streets. Shout out to Blue Rock TTV. It is absolutely a crime. So I want to know who was willing to risk it all. Did Lena and Adam file this? Because there's a possibility. And I'm going to tell you what they could do. What they could do is absolutely just let this fall apart, like not show up to court. But there's no court date on here either. It doesn't say whether or not that's what I was looking for because I realized, wait a minute, is there a court date on these documents? I don't see a court date. Henny Legal, if you're listening, if you saw a court date, please let me know because I didn't see one. So it just doesn't give me that this is real. Now, if someone is capable of going and doing this on their own, absolutely. Anybody can file court paperwork. But it is a crime. So who's willing to risk it all to start this fire around Lena and Adam? Unless it's Lena and Adam. Like I said, I believe Lena has something coming up. I'm not 100% sure. I saw something this morning. I'm going to go look into my bookmarks because I've had to start bookmarking things because I see stuff and then I don't. Ba-doom, boom, psh. Okay, no, I did not bookmark that, but this could be promotional. Okay, it could be promotional.
It's a crime, actually a crime, right? Which I was even thinking about. White people, they usually cross the T's, dot their I's. It makes no sense for Lena to actually put a fake filing in.
It doesn't.
Just to promote a video. That's a crime. You're going to go to jail.
Well,
especially now it's on TMZ.
I mean, now here's the thing. If you file it yourself, you can always backtrack what you filed. But if someone else is filing this on behalf of them, then that's something different. So now we can't just go around saying that it's a crime for her to do that. I mean, it is a crime for you to do it, but you have more control over the situation where you could say, well, you know what? We've decided we're going to work it out. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, oh no, I didn't save it. I hate when I don't save things. And at that point, you could say, we've decided to work it out. You could withdraw your paperwork because I just got confirmation. Henny Legal did scan over it, and someone got back to me and just let me know there is no hearing date on this. So it hasn't actually been accepted by the courts. I feel this is all planned for clout, just seems odd and out of nowhere. Exactly. Exactly. So I guess we're going to see what comes behind all of this. And I mean, not only that, the way Adam was posting to his story last night, it's like he was trolling everybody. Now I posted it on my page because of course I got to post it on my page. It's what we're talking about, right? It's the thing that's popping right now. But let's go here for a second. We'll be back, academics. So this is what Adam posted to his story. He went over to Spirit World. He left a comment, and then he posted the comment to his story. He said, "All black women who want to date me, please DM me. I will buy you a car." Now, I'm not offended by that, but it's offensive. Then he played Girls, Girls, Girls and said freedom. Then he turned around and said, TMZ, Lena the Plug files for divorce from Adam 22. Jason Love, basically in the bushes rubbing his hands. So this is what I mean by he's trolling the situation. So it just got me looking like, I'm not buying it. And I still don't buy it. I would have to actually see this paperwork move forward in court, see them actually go to court, and see more paperwork come out for me to believe this. For me, I'm just not. I'm just not. But let's let academics finish what he was saying.
And you got to actually try to get divorced from the nigga then. You get what I'm saying? All things are pointing to them not getting divorced.
Well, that's it. Academic says all things are leading to them not getting a divorce. Yeah, I said that too. Like they have an open marriage where they openly sleep with other. Plug talk again. Plug talk is where they go and they interview these corn stars, and then they go in the back and they bow chicka wow wow the wow wow in the back with them. Like they openly sleep with other people. So how does that marriage fall apart? I'm just asking. They've made a whole business out of it. A whole business. It's a whole brand. Lena the Plug. It's a whole thing. So again, we're going to keep our eyes on it and see how this moves about going forward. But I don't really see much coming from this. I see some type of joke, some ha. The joke's on y'all. Or maybe we've decided to work it out so that there's no legal ramifications for this. And I mean, right now, as it stands, I don't see there being any legal ramifications coming down the pipeline for them filing this paperwork themselves. There is no court date, so they have not really wasted any of the court's time. So we'll see. We'll be watching. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give everybody what it is that I know a lot of y'all are tuned in for, because y'all want to know what is going on with Chrisean, right? So, haters, grab your notebooks because let's get ready to dive into all of what has been going on when it comes down to Chrisean. Henny Legal, I need the notification from Monica, please. I meant to ask for that before we started. I just didn't get to it. Okay, so where are we going to start first is the question. I guess we could start here. No. Well, no, yeah, let's start. All right, let's give you a little backstory first. Now, when it comes down to Chrisean, as I was saying in the intro, at one point in time, there were a lot of legal troubles that were following her. She had the warrant that was out there in Oklahoma. She had the warrant out there in Baltimore. She had the case with James Wright. She had the case with Rama Montaba. I don't know how to say her last name, so please don't think I'm trying to be funny, but Montakabi? Montakabi. I think that's how you say her name. She also had the case with the RB Lashella girl who does hair, the hairstylist. And so, Chrisean had a lot going on. On the contrary to what was circulating out there in those internet streets, and if you need a refresh of all of those cases, they're on this page. You're going to have to go and find them and watch them. But there were rumors that she had 5 warrants out there for her in 5 different states and all this other stuff. And we just basically boiled it down to the 2 warrants, a couple of civil cases, and she owed fees in Arizona that she eventually paid. So Chrisean went into Click City in Oklahoma. She served her time. She came out. She was able to run her do her time, come out on probation, and then she did interstate compact to Baltimore, where she took care of her Baltimore warrant. She also appeared in court for James Wright, so that civil case was taken care of as well. She had secured counsel for herself, so she was handling her business. Recently, it came up that she had a lawsuit that appeared from the incident where it is alleged that Chrisean punched a fan in the face while she was pregnant because the fan disrespected Blueface. And Blueface, in turn, snatched the fan's phone. And it was a whole mess that happened, which resulted in Blueface violating probation in Vegas, I believe. But he was already in trouble. Yeah, because of the whole Vegas nightclub thing. And Chrisean had nothing to do with that. I just thought I'd put that out there because people try to blame her for everything, but she had nothing to do with that. She was literally not at the strip club with him, and that's documented on Crazy in Love season 1. Ting. That was Blueface all by his lonesome. Okay? So the young lady who was involved in that decided that she was going to file suit, and she filed a lawsuit against Chrisean and Blueface. Not only that, there was a parking ticket that came out, and TMZ tried to spin the story as if she had this criminal warrant out for her, but it's in fact a traffic warrant, which means that if she gets caught driving in that area, they're just going to pick her up and make her go to traffic court. She's not going to jail. She also took care of her James Wright case. Yeah. So let's get into some of these documents and see where these cases actually stand right now today as we speak, because people have a lot to say. So I think I'm going to start off with the Rama case. Let's start with Rama. And let's give you guys a refresher. Let's get this screen back how I like the screen. And let me give you guys a refresher and read the court docs on the Rama case so that we're all brought up to speed, okay? So here we go. Now, let's get it started. All right, so this is the court doc for Rama Montakabi. I told y'all I don't know how to say her name. We're just going to call her Rama, okay? Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you for tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all are leaning on that like. So this is the case where Rama was at an after party, okay? It says on or about June 26, 2023 at the BET Awards after party, or CMG after party, located at the Hollywood Eden Club. Chrisean Rock, which she's now just Chrisean, willfully and maliciously, without provocation and without the consent of the plaintiff, struck, attacked, assaulted, battered, tortured, and imprisoned the plaintiff. Y'all remember this one because when we first read this, we was like, imprisoned at a party? How do you get imprisoned at a party? Who held you there against your will? So she says that the defendants, which would be the Zeus Network, because she was not only suing Chrisean, she was also suing Zeus Network. So she says that the defendants, by their unlawful actions and alleged herein, intended to and did cause a harmful and offensive contact with and severe injury to the plaintiff's person without consent of the plaintiff. As a direct proximate result of the defendant's conduct, plaintiff suffered extreme mental shock and anguish and physical pain. Defendant's actions, as alleged herein, were carried out knowingly, willfully, and with the malicious intent to injure the plaintiff. entitling the plaintiff to punitive damages against the defendant according to the proof. So she was going for battery, she was going for assault, she's going for intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, infliction of emotional distress, and negligence. And the negligence she's claiming is towards Zeus Network. She says that the defendants had a duty to act reasonably as people in society towards other individuals in order to avoid the risk of harm and injury to others by carrying out the acts complained of in the herein complaint. Defendants breached their duty of care. The defendants' actions as complained of caused damage to the plaintiff as complained of herein according to proof at trial. And she goes on to say that the defendants breached their duty of care by using excessive force and failing to use ordinary care in their conduct and interactions with the plaintiff on or about June 26, 2023. Now, just reading that sentence right there, it says to me that Zeus's security must have held her. Okay, they must have restrained her. She's alleging that there was an incident. Rama is not a person that we have ever seen orbiting around Chrisean in any means, way, shape, or form or fashion. Okay, and you've got to remember we are talking old. This is not new. This is not something that just happened. This happened back in 2023, not 2026. So don't get out here with all your bullshit and don't. Henny said that she got a lawsuit, and that lawsuit, I thought she changed. Yeah, this was like 3 years ago. It's not today. June 23rd hasn't even happened yet this year, okay? So I think whatever happened, there's an alleged altercation that happened, and Zeus security must have been restraining her, holding her, separating the two, whatever the case may be. She says defendants breached their duty for care by failing to properly supervise and monitor Chrisean Rock and by failing to warn and notify the plaintiff of Chrisean Rock's dangerous propensities by negligently hiring and training and supervising Chrisean Rock, and thereby were negligent in causing plaintiff's injuries and damages as complained of herein. So she was suing for medical and incidental expenses, according to proof, general damages, according to proof, in the excess of the jurisdictional minimum of the court. All other special and incidental damages according to proof, loss of earnings according to proof, loss of earning capacity according to proof, prejudgment interest according to proof, cost of suit incurred herein, attorney's fees provided by law, punitive and exemplary damages as allowed by law and in the amount sufficient to deter unlawful conduct by the defendant, meaning whatever amount the judge seems to feel is suitable to deter a person away from ever committing this conduct again. And then she goes on to say such other and further reliefs as the court may deem just and proper. So my pain, my suffering, my loss of wages, etc., and whatever else the court wants tea for. Okay, so that's when this suit was filed. And since that suit, let me check my email really quickly. Hold on one second. All right. So we do have that because we're going to talk about that too. All right. So I'm trying to, because I have all of these damn windows open. Let me get to the next one for y'all when it comes down to Rama. And this was filed when? 2026. Okay. Okay, so for those saying that there was no show when it comes down to Chrisean, there was a show for Chrisean, and this document here is dated February 13th, 2025, just so that y'all can see that right there. These are the notes of the proceeding. Okay, so it says the matter was called for the hearing, and the court noted the following: that the Doe defendants have not been identified, that both defendants have filed an answer, which means that Zeus and Chrisean filed an answer to their suit, okay, to this suit. The Zeus defendant has posted jury fees, all right? So they're paying for the jury fee because they're asking for a jury trial, all right? Plaintiff's case management statement represents that the plaintiff seeks a jury trial, okay? Defendant Malone's case management statement represents the defendant Malone seeks a bench trial, okay? So Zeus wants a jury, no, I'm sorry. Rama wants a jury trial and Chrisean wants a bench trial, okay? Bench trial, to my understanding, is where the judge makes the decision and it's not an actual jury, okay? So someone was there to represent for Chrisean. It also shows that, okay, let's go. Counsel for the plaintiff waives jury in the open court. After conferring with counsel, the court orders the following: any party seeking a jury trial is to post jury fees. So Zeus is saying, let's do the jury trial. So they posted the jury fees. Chrisean wants a bench trial, all right? Now it says that the final conference is scheduled for August 28th, 2026. So that is a final status conference, which means that this is the final. They need to find out where everybody is. This is the final check-in with everyone to make sure that everyone is ready for trial, because trial is set for September 8th, 2026, and it's estimated that the trial is to last 7 to 10 days. So that's where we are with this case right here, is they're set to go to trial, okay? There's no other update that has happened on this particular case. The only update that has happened, and we do have to talk about this, is that the lawyer, Monica has withdrew. Yeah, here it is. Monica is the lawyer who was representing Chrisean, and she was representing Chrisean during the James Wright case, which I do have the James Wright case. We will talk about that, okay? But Monica is no longer representing, and the reason for that, the attorney makes this motion. She made a motion to be relieved as counsel, okay? And this motion for relief of counsel was filed on 5/4/2026. So that was last month, a month ago, is when Monica put this in. So it says that the attorney makes this motion to be relieved under the codes and procedural sections. Instead of filing a consent underneath the other sections, the reasons for making this motion are described in attachment number 2. Okay? So this is attachment 2, and it says, Mahel Law and Professional Corporation was retained by Chrisean Malone, aka Chrisean Rock, on or about September 24th, 2024. Monica was the responsible attorney with regard to this case. Client has not been communicating with counsel. Counsel has attempted to contact the client via email and phone calls since January of 2026. Client has not returned any communication. Counsel has contacted to the last known employer of the client, and they also do not have a current address. Per her Instagram social media, she posted a story on or about March 8th, posting her P.O. Box pickup, which they put out there. And on April 19th, 2026, an attempt to contact client via Instagram message and email was made. At this time, client currently has been unable to make payments for the work started on this case. Invoices and notice to make payments were sent to the last known email and contact for the client. As indicated both in the motion to be relieved and in the present declaration. The next hearings are set for 8/28/2026 and 9/28/2026, which will be the jury trial. She said, I intend to cooperate to ensure a smooth transition to any new counsel and transfer the files expeditiously to new counsel or to the client as the case may be, and assist in any reasonable way. I declare under penalty of perjury of the law of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct, and the declaration was signed immediately below May 1st, 2026 at Los Angeles, California. So Monica is saying that she was trying to get in touch with Chrisean. She was unable to get in touch with Chrisean, and therefore she's asking to be relieved from the case as the attorney. Now, she doesn't say, I will never, ever work with her again or any of that. She's just said, I can't get in touch with her, so I can't proceed. So I don't know if she is going to be seeking new counsel, if she will be reaching back out to Monica. Hopefully she does reach back out to Monica, because, I mean, it seemed like Monica did an awesome job with covering that case. But we shall see what happens. We are going to keep an eye on this, you know? Let's see what some of you guys are saying down in the comments. Okay, so this is ridiculous to go to trial over. I agree. I agree. What did you ask? I'm sorry. Is she in Cali? The attorney? Yes, the attorney is in Cali. The case is also in Cali. So Chrisean will have to travel from Baltimore to Cali, or she might be able to do her appearance via Zoom. I don't know. But what we do know is she has court coming up, and she's got to be there in August and in September. So hopefully she reaches out to Monica and she gets this together. Okay? Chrisean. Hello. Ma'am. We need you to contact Monica. Thank you. Thank you. Unless you've got some attorney, you know, unless you got another attorney, we need you to get in touch with Monica ASAP. Now, the next case that we're going to get into for Chrisean is that of LaShayla. Is it Irby LaShayla? Now, this is the hairdresser. Now, if you don't remember this case, let me walk you through this case too. So, Chrisean went to Hair Queen LA, okay? And I believe that was when she had braids in her hair, and she went to go get her hair washed, and the person who did her hair burned her hair. That's what the allegations are that LaShayla had burned Chrisean's hair when she was doing her hair. So Chrisean was upset about it. She spoke about it. And, you know, LaShayla didn't take too kindly to it. Well, she also decided to take it upon herself. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm not laughing because it's funny, because it's not funny. But LaShayla decided to take it upon herself to go to the Zeus Baddies premiere. Why you would go there knowing that you and Chrisean, and I'm not excusing, I'm just saying, if you know you got smoke with somebody, why would you show up to their place of business, their place of work, and be on some you remember me? This is what happened. Oh, what the And this was, I don't know who this is. I don't, Let me see if I can find.
Kings and queens, how y'all doing today? So I told y'all I would give y'all the update.
Hold on.
So here's the update as promised. So we left off with Chrisean Rock announcing her pregnancy, according to fight between two women.
So that's the incident that happened. And I'm just saying, like, as that commentator just said, she had just announced that she was pregnant. LaShayla walked up on Chrisean, and Chrisean decked her. in the face. And LaShayla decided that she was going to sue Chrisean. So that brings us back to this lawsuit here. Okay, is this the lawsuit? No. No. Hold on. Okay, well that's the skimmy on that. This was her lawsuit, okay? Um Now this document that I'm showing you right now is dated February 24th, 2026. And this is a notice of settlement, okay? It says you are hereby notified that the plaintiff, RB LaShayla, on the one hand, and the defendant, Zeus Network LLC, and MGP XIP GPI Laurel Plaza LLC, and on the other hand, have entered into a settlement, and the defendant, Zeus Network LLC, and the other place will apply to this court for a determination of the good faith of such settlement in accordance to Code of Civil Procedure. So this is dated February 20th, 2026. It looks like Zeus and the venue have settled with her. Okay. And on April 29th of 2026, LaShayla went to the courts and she said she's requesting a judgment. So I believe that this is for a default judgment that she is asking for from Chrisean, and she's asking for the amount of $2 million. Now, she's asking for special damages of $1 million, and she's asking for general damages of $1 million, which would total a settlement of $2 million that she wants from Chrisean. That's the judgment that she wants from Chrisean. Okay. And she also goes on to say, under the declaration code is not a contract or installment sale, that it is not a conditional sale. Like, this is not a sale, and this is what she wants. Well, this filing was rejected by the court. The default judgment did not go through. So if people are running around saying that Chrisean has a default judgment for $2 million, that's a lie. It is not a default judgment for $2 million. The court rejected it. Let's see. Documents electronically rejected. Default judgment by the courts. It's rejected, okay? The parties on the judgment do not match the complaint. All right? So whoever, they're saying that this doesn't even match. Her information is not correct. All right? So no, you're not getting that. Fix your shit and then come back later. That's basically what the courts are telling her to do. So there's nothing else on this LaShayla case. There's no other movement that has happened since that rejection happened. There has not been an announcement of any payments being made. No, nothing. This is the final. Oh, I didn't show y'all. No, I did show y'all. Y'all was on the right page. I was jumping ahead. There's nothing. So we're waiting for court on one. This other one, there's no more movement on. And the James case has already been settled. Like, but there's one more. There's one more. There's two more, I'm sorry, that I wanted to go through. And this one right here, this next one is what we're going to go through right now, which is traffic court. Dun, dun, dun. This is the one that has the warrant on it for Chrisean. And the reason that she has the warrant on there is because she was driving with a license that was suspended or revoked for offenses not relating to driving ability. Unlawful drive unless licensed. Chrisean has a restricted license, okay? She has a restricted license where she can drive to and from work. Now, Chrisean received this ticket in California on 1/26/2026. She did not show up for court. The citation was issued on 1/26/2006, and right here, a warrant was issued on 2/26/2026, but it is a traffic warrant. She's not going to be extradited. Can't make this shit up, Jesus. She's not going to be extradited from Baltimore to California for a traffic warrant. She's not going to be picked up for a traffic warrant. What's going to happen is if she's driving in that area, she will be picked up and held to go to traffic court. That's it. That's all. She's not going to jail. She's not going to prison. She's not going to prison, okay? And finally, we have this case right here, which is the case from the lady Deborah Jenkins. Now, Deborah Jenkins, like I told y'all, is the one that claims that she was assaulted. All right. So it says on May 29th, 2023, plaintiff Deborah Jenkins was a legally authorized visitor to Palms Resort and Casino and recognized the defendants, Blueface and Chrisean, to be celebrities in the music industry and either performers or guests at the Palms Resort and Casino. Blueface was an entertainer, well acknowledged in the hip hop and music industry, and was either a performer, guest, or visitor of the Hotel The Palms. Defendant Chrisean Rock was an entertainer, a companion of defendant Blueface, and was either a performer, guest, or visitor of the Palms Hotel and Casino, right? The Palms Resort and Casino is a hotel and entertainment center frequented by numerous guests for fine dining, entertainment, and gambling. That each of the defendants then and there owned a duty to treat plaintiff with respect and refrain from causing or allowing her to receive bodily harm. Notwithstanding same, the defendant Chrisean Rock Malone, subsequent to consenting to having her photograph taken by Deborah and being complimented thereto, did then and there viciously attack Deborah, hitting her in the face and body, causing the plaintiff to suffer bodily injury and emotional trauma. That as a result of the conduct of defendant Chrisean Rock, plaintiff Deborah was caused to suffer damages for the following. Now, this is the woman who it was said, and she admitted to, taking a picture with Chrisean and saying something to the effect of "fuck Blueface, I don't like him," or something like that. And Chrisean alleges Blueface looked at her and she took off on the lady. That's what was alleged at the time, okay? These are all allegations. I don't know. Everything is alleged. And I am an AI figure, talking head. I'm not even real. So she's saying that she suffered general damages in the form of pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life, to her detriment, and that is worth no less than $200,000. Okay. I'm gonna mind my business. I just looked over at the chat. Now let me go over here. Special damages for medical expenses in the amount of not less than $40,000. Attorney's fees and costs, and any other relief that the court considers fair and reasonable. Okay. So for Jonathan's portion of things, she says that subsequent to the initial and surprise attack from Chrisean Rock, that Blueface viciously attacked the plaintiff, hitting her in the face, abdomen, and kicked her. That the actions of the defendants were uncalled for, unjust, intentional, and did cause Deborah to suffer unnecessary harm physically and emotionally to her body. Reading this, she's making it sound like they jumped her. Don't laugh, Henny. That shit is not funny. Could you imagine getting jumped by Blueface and Chrisean back then? Anyway. That the actions of Blueface and Chrisean were unjust. Okay, we read that part already. Plaintiff, as a result thereof, did suffer pain and suffering to her body and mind and loss of enjoyment of life, as well as psychological distress. Okay, so she was looking for $240,000 for that. She was suing the Palms for having them there. Okay, and she's still talking about $240,000. Baby, if you take my insurance, shut up, Penny. I'm gonna shut up. That's all she was looking for, I guess, from the Palms and from Chrisean and Blueface, was $240,000. Okay, and this is the same case that Blueface was standing before the judge, like the violation where he took the cell phone and that was considered to be robbery. Remember, he caught a robbery charge. It was her phone. Like, she left out a lot in that story that we all know was part of that story. If you followed the Chrisean and Blueface universe, then you knew what this story was. You knew that there was a phone involved. You knew that Blueface took said phone and it was an iPhone. You knew that it's alleged that Chrisean punched a lady in the face for disrespecting Blueface, or else Blueface was going to punch her in hers later. So these are all the allegations. Well, guess what happened? On February 17th of 2026, the court noted the procedural history of the case and advised that no progress had been made since July of 2025. Therefore, the court ordered the case dismissed. So, Deborah Jenkins' case, right here, in big bold letters, let me highlight it so that it can be seen. It's dismissed. It's dismissed right here. So this case is also non-existent. So now let's recap a little bit, shall we? Because we also have one more case to talk about. And that's going to be the James Wright case, because people want to know, what happened to the James case? What's going on with James? I got a James update for you too. Don't worry. Don't worry, Sugarfoot. It's coming. It's coming. It ain't gonna be what you think. Sorry, that was funny to me to say. I don't know why. Maybe I need a nap. But anyway, let's recap just a little bit before we get into James. So, the Rama case is set to go for a final conference in August of this year, and to go to trial in September. Okay? The LaShayla case, it looks like the judge, she's getting a settlement from Zeus and the venue, and that her request for a default judgment was declined by the courts. The courts declined it. There's nothing else that happened. Also, this Deborah Jenkins case. The Deborah Jenkins case has been dismissed by the courts. So what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? That means that right now, as it stands, the only case that is still having movement is the Rama case. One case. The one case. Now, we will see if LaShayla decides that she wants to do something with her case, because she's asking for $2 million for her pain and suffering, okay? But that is it. That is all. Also, she has a traffic warrant. So if you thought that it was going to be something else, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Cupcake, but that's not going to happen, because there's nothing else to report on. So now let's get to the James case, and let's see what is going on with the James case, right? So it looks like James, remember, James won his suit, and his suit was for $37,106. Well, James tried to do a writ of execution on Chrisean, put a lien on her property for his civil winnings. But the problem with that is James tried to put a lien on Blueface's home. Henny, you need to get your shit together. Get it together. So James, after he got his winnings, back on February 19th of 2025, he tried to do a writ of execution, like how the Las Vegas nightclub did a writ of execution to put a lien on Blueface's home. James tried to put a lien on Blueface's home as well for Chrisean, but that's not Chrisean's house. You see it for yourself. I'm not going to highlight it, but you see it. Lord Hameth and mercy. Yes, but James was trying to make sure that he received his monions, because as it says right here, and it states that the total judgment entered was for $37,106. It has accrued no interest, but there was a fee of issuance for the writ, which was for $40, which brought it to $37,146. That's it. That's all. And even, let's say, by some strange twist of fate, that she ends up having to pay this LaShayla girl the $2 million, she's still nowhere near $19.2 million. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so here's the information right here. It says writ of execution, and it was to the writ was submitted on 2/19/2025, and it says that it's still active until August 19th of 2025. However, you can't put a lien on somebody else's home that is not their home. Okay, you can't do that. All right. Um, but that is it. That is all. There's nothing else. There has been no other movement on the James case. There's been no other movement. There's no other case out there. There's nothing coming out of the woodworks. Unfortunately, Monica has been unable to get in touch with Chrisean, so Monica is unable to continue to do the work that she's been doing on Chrisean's cases until Chrisean reaches out to her. Chrisean, reach out to Monica or secure you some legal counsel for the trial that you've got coming up. But other than that, it looks like thus far Chrisean owes or may not owe, because maybe James got paid $37,106. That's it. Any questions? So yeah, that's gonna do it for Chrisean, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There's nothing else on there. I know a lot of people was like biting their nails and all of that. And what you also have to remember is the only thing that is recent is the the traffic ticket. Everybody gets a damn traffic ticket. Anybody could get a damn ticket. And she got a traffic warrant. So there was your update on that. Now to keep on moving. Don't stop like the hands of time. Click. All right, so Diddy. Dun dun dun. Oh, Diddy. Diddy. Diddy is in trouble again. Okay, and this time it looks like Diddy is Cassie's friend Deontay Nash is coming for Diddy. Now, Deontay was there to testify on behalf of Cassie during the Diddy trial. And I cannot say that I did not see this coming, because I did not believe that people were not going to go after him, especially after some of the things that were revealed uh, in the trial. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I didn't hear them people's testimonies, because I heard them people's testimonies when them peoples was testimonying. Okay. Henny glasses in the chat if y'all ready to hear this Diddy stuff. Monique said, I got a ticket yesterday. I ain't paying that shit. You gonna end up with a traffic warrant, girl. Child, Henny with all the receipts, baby. I gotta pull the court docs, okay? Anybody can get a ticket, but not everybody can cause a 4-car pileup. Ooh, ooh. I wish my soundboard was working, because shots fired. Melody, why are you bringing that up, darling? I know, when it comes down to that 4-car pileup that Jaden Alexis caused when she slammed her G-Wagon into a parked van, that caused that van to hit a car in front of it, and caused that car to hit a car in front of it, and caused that car to hit a car in front of it, and the car in the middle was smushed, and the back of the van was up on the curb. The whole framework was blown out of proportion. Everything that was in the back was flung everywhere, and that car all the way in the front, the trunk was all rumpled in like a piece of paper. Baby, that was something special. There's still been no movement on that. Just thought I'd let you know. There's been no movement. We know nothing. That's been buried deep. Now, let's get into a little bit of this this Deontay Nash, okay? Deontay Nash versus Sean Combs, 207 Anderson LLC, which actually, by the way, we found out that that 207 Anderson LLC is Diddy's home. See, if you don't know, let me break this down to you because I'm not going to lie and say I did not know this. I learned this during the Diddy trial. A lot of celebrities put their homes into LLCs and then they take those homes and they put them in a trust. So when you go after them, their assets are in a trust and you can't touch the trust unless you know the business. So now, when we were there at the Diddy trial, they brought up all of these different LLCs that were acquainted with his addresses because he was using some of those businesses as income as well, and he was paying off his freak off stuff with his business stuff, and all that stuff was all together. I remember. Okay, I could go pull it up. I got the transcripts. I still have the transcripts. We could always refer to a transcript. He's also suing Bad Boy Entertainment. He's also suing Janice Combs Publishing and Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings LLC. Now, let me tell y'all, let me remind y'all of what was said during the court, okay? And what people have been buzzing and saying in like all these documentaries and what's been buzzing in the industry, and we kind of heard it. Well, uh, allegedly, heavy on the allegedly, they have been reporting out there, the peoples, they've been saying that Janice's businesses were all just shell companies for Diddy to funnel his money through, and that he put his business in his mama's name so that way nobody could ever come after him. hmm But baby, the money. The money was revealed in the federal trial, okay? So this says this is an order denying corporate defendants' motion to dismiss and denying Combs's motion to dismiss the complaint because Deontay Nash, he been filed his lawsuit and Diddy is trying to get this case dismissed. So no. All right, it says introduction. Before this court are two motions to dismiss. The first was filed by defendant CE Opco LLC, 207 Anderson LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings Inc., and Janice Combs Publishing LLC, collectively the corporate defendants. So, on behalf of the corporate defendants, they asked for a dismissal. The second was filed by defendant Sean Combs. For the reasons below, the motions are denied. The court said, hell no, we ain't denying it. And these were filed in the Central District of California. So you can't even say the Southern District of New York is up in here hating. So here's the factual background. The following factual background is derived from the allegations in Nash's complaint. For the purposes of this motion, the court treats these factual allegations as true, but at this stage, the court makes no finding on the truth of these allegations and is therefore not at this stage finding that they are not true. So, plaintiff Deontay Nash, a resident of California, right? Nash is an African American man who identifies as gay. He works as a stylist and creative director in the entertainment industry. From 2007 to 2018, Nash was employed by all of the defendants. That means all the businesses and Sean Combs. Okay? Defendant Sean Combs is a resident of Florida and is incarcerated in a federal detention center in Brooklyn, New York. Well, he was. He was. Now he's in Jersey. He has been incarcerated there since September of 2024. Combs is a well-known and influential music producer. He founded his and owns the Bad Boy record label, and he controls several powerful entities in the entertainment industry. At all relevant times, Combs owned and controlled the corporate defendants. 207 Anderson LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, INC, and Janice Combs Publishing, as well as CEO PCO LLC, doing business as Combs Global and Combs. Okay? So now, when Nash was 21 years old, he began working as defendant stylist intern in 2008. He principally worked as a stylist. Worked as a stylist, Cassandra Ventura, defendant's employee and Combs' former girlfriend, with whom Nash developed a close relationship. Combs exerted control over Nash personally and professionally. Nash was hired as an independent contractor but was not allowed to work for other employers. Combs controlled who, other than the defendants, associates Nash could accept as clients. Combs told Nash that Nash would have problems if he attempted to work for others in the entertainment industry. And when Combs grew suspicious that Nash was working for employers other than the defendants, Combs would deliberately escalate his demands and assign Nash unnecessary work with the intent of consuming his time and energy. As a result, Nash feared seeking other opportunities because if Combs discovered these efforts, Nash feared that Combs will retaliate by causing Nash physical and reputable harm. Moreover, Combs repeatedly hired others to follow Nash, would confiscate his phone and keys to prevent him from leaving, and threatened to harm Nash if he failed to tell Combs his location. Because Combs seemed to always able I guess always be able to locate Nash. Nash believed Combs was unlawfully tracking him. Nash also knew former employees of Combs who had suffered abuse and reputable harm at the hands of Combs, which left him unable to find employment. Nash feared and still fears the same fate. In 2008, from 2008 to 2018, while Nash worked for Combs, Combs repeatedly verbally degraded, sexually assaulted, and sexually harassed Nash. Over the 10-year time frame, defendants sexually, physically, mentally, and emotionally abused Nash. That's right, you heard what I said. You heard what I said. This abuse included consistent unreasonable demands and expectations, forced tests of loyalty and manipulation, sexual harassment, sexual assault, physical violence, and manhandling, labor trafficking, threats of harm, and threats of death. Combs himself sexually assaulted Nash at least 6 times over the course of his employment. Combs also regularly made unwanted, inappropriate charged comments to Nash and Ventura, despite multiple requests that he stops. And Combs was physically violent with Nash and Ventura on several occasions, which is something that he did testify to when he testified at the Diddy trial. Let me just put that out there, okay? Um, defendants employees ordered Nash to clean up rooms where Combs had notorious coerced sexual contacts with others, and ordered him not to speak about what he had seen. Due to his experiences and observations, Nash feared for his life. Combs bragged about violently retaliating against people that had turned against him in the past. Moreover, Nash frequently observed Combs's violent and unprovoked acts of aggregation. For example, Nash recalls Combs kicking the door of Ventura's home off its hinges on multiple occasions, and Combs routinely uh, yeah, intimated to Nash that he had blown up another musician's car in February 2012. Based on this, Nash reasonably believed he would be no different, and that Combs would seriously hurt or kill him if Nash failed to follow Combs's orders. Combs exercised control over Nash even after he stopped working for defendants, including by making repeated threats. On January 3rd, 2019, Combs called Nash while Nash was with Ventura. When Nash refused to put Ventura on the phone with Combs, Combs threatened to track Ventura's car and find their location. On another occasion, Combs threatened to harm Nash's reputation and attempted to extort $50,000 from Nash and Ventura, falsely claiming they owed Combs money. He also informed Nash and Ventura that Combs was having them followed and knew where they were. Combs also told Nash that Nash had to keep contact with him even following the end of their employment relationship because Combs was letting Nash live. As a result of Combs' violent threats and intimidation towards Nash, as well as Nash's knowledge of Combs's violence and intimidation towards those who Combs perceived to be his enemies, Nash continues to live in fear. In May of 2025, Nash was served a subpoena and was reluctantly compelled to testify at Combs's trial. There, Nash testified against Combs on May 28th and May 29th of 2025. He experienced substantial emotional distress at the prospect of testifying about defendant's conduct. It was only under a court order that Nash testified about some of Combs's abuse. Child, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I sat and I watched Deontay Nash testify. I watched as that man accounted for everything that he said. And baby, when I tell you, I was not given any side eye or any of that. Deontay stood firm on his story. He was not tripped up by anybody. Don't believe the hype. If anybody is telling you that he was not. And some of the stuff that he's saying in this court document is the stuff that he had to testify to in the Diddy trial. And he's saying the same stuff that he was saying in this lawsuit. So they trying to get this dismissed, and the courts is like, hell to the no, to the no, hell to the no. Okay, so it says that the procedural history is that on September 24th, 2025, Nash filed his complaint in the Los Angeles Superior Court. Okay. On November 17th, 2025, the corporate defendants removed the action to federal court. All right. In the complaint, Nash alleges the following claims against all defendants: human trafficking, assault, battery, sexual battery, negligence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, false imprisonment, gender violence in violation of California Civil Code, subsection 52.4, sexual orientation violence, constructive discharge. Okay. On January 8th, the corporate defendants filed their motion to dismiss. On January 22nd, Nash filed his opposition. On February 10th, 2026, the corporate defendants filed a reply. And on January 20th, the defendant, Sean Combs, filed his motion as well. On February 3rd, 2026, Nash filed an opposition, and on February 10th, Combs filed a reply. This court held a hearing on both motions on March 12th, 2026, and it is dismissed. The motions, they dismissed those motions to dismiss his case. Now, I'm going to read this more in depth over on my Twitch because that's where I will be doing my full court doc reads. But that is the meat and the potatoes of the Deontay Nash case that is going on. Okay. Now, let's get to... Do I have anything on Brianna Bongalon? Now, Brianna Bongalong is the one that claimed that she was held over the balcony. And she is still suing Diddy as well. Actually, let me not even say that, but she has that case. But there's also 2 additional cases that involve escorts and involve Cassie in those filings as well. And I know that you guys have also heard that there has been there's a criminal probe that is going on. But let's go to Fox 5 New York now. If this gets cut out, the video gets cut out of the broadcast, I will be sure that I give you guys a summary of what they just said in this video. But let's hear what they're saying. This was aired 2 days ago, and it says LA prosecutors review new sexual abuse allegations against Sean Diddy Combs.
More legal troubles could be on the table for Sean Diddy Combs.
Oh boy, what's happening here? Ryan Christopher has the details. Ryan, what's going on?
All right, so the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office is now reviewing accusations of sexual abuse against Sean Diddy Combs. Now, music producer and publicist Jonathan Hay claims...
Now, Jonathan Hay, I'm not sure if this is the same person, but we're going to see when this finishes playing out. Y'all remember that there was a gentleman that said that he worked at, I think it was Macy's or something like that. He worked in one of them high-end stores, department stores. And he said that Diddy had satisfied himself on a Biggie shirt and then threw the shirt in his face. Yeah, he's also making his rounds as well. But I don't know if this is him.
the music mogul sexually battered him during 2 incidents in 2020 and 2021. Now, the LAPD investigated these allegations and then submitted the case to the district attorney for possible criminal charges. Diddy has denied these allegations. He's currently serving a 4+ year sentence at Fort Dix Federal Prison.
The crazy thing is, of course, he's going to deny all of them. Like, the only person that he ever admitted to was Cassie. And look at how that turned out.
In New Jersey on prostitution-related charges. He is due to be released February of 2028. Dana, Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, Ryan, thanks so much.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, still ahead, the very latest.
So that is one of the incidents that is going on with Diddy. Let's go ahead and let's pull this up right now. All right. Okay, and I think I need to go here. TMZ. Is this it? Okay, so here we go. I think this might be it.
Michael, let's switch gears. I understand Diddy could be facing more criminal charges in LA. Is that the case?
Yeah, so yep, that is exactly right. And obviously speaking of somebody who is also in prison, Diddy is in prison right now in New Jersey. He's serving that 50-something month sentence. Yeah, he could have new charges though. So there is a publicist who in September of 2025, so not all that long ago, went to the police. Originally in Florida, the case has been transferred to LA because that's where it allegedly happened.
Now, this is, we gonna listen and see if this is the same one, because there's so many. Let me just tell y'all why I'm saying this, okay? And we're gonna work this out all on my Twitter, so make sure you follow me on Twitter, official That Girl Henny on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, I'm sorry, Twitch. I keep saying Twitter. Twitch. We're going to follow this on the Twitcher, and we're gonna pull this thing apart because there's so many cases that are coming out, and these are not Tony Bugsby cases, y'all. These are actual cases that are going on with people. Okay? Escorts and all types of stuff. So as far as I know, this is not a Busby case. But if it turns out to be a Busby case, you already know what I'm gonna do. Trash it. We don't rock with Busby over here.
But this publicist claims that Diddy sexually abused him, and he again went to police, filed a police report. Because of that, police think that there was at least enough there to warrant an investigation.
So he went to the police, y'all. He went to the police. This guy said he assaulted me, and I got a police report. God damn.
So that's what they're doing right now. Again, as he is serving his sentence from his other case in a federal prison in New Jersey. So theoretically, and this is the worst possible outcome for Diddy, but that he could actually have new charges brought against him as he is in prison, never gets released, and just goes from serving his sentence to another trial.
That's crazy work. Let me tell you something. I already said covering that case that I thought that the DOJ was going to come with another suit. I did not see Diddy just walking away to go back and live his life. The picture that they have painted of Diddy is a sexual deviant out here just running loose and running amok and was doing whatever he wanted to do, all underneath the guise of power, privilege, and manyan. So I do not feel like the Southern District of New York is going to take this lying down. And you have to remember, even in the Central District of LA, of California, I mean, no matter what district of federal court he goes to, the feds are all one. Okay, that they are a unit. You want to talk about mafioso? You want to talk about gangs? The feds, they're the real mob. They play for keeps. So if they get, I believe that if they get their hands on another federal case for Diddy, he's going down. He's gonna go down like the Titanic. Okay? I don't see coming back from a second federal case.
And obviously that would be the worst case for him. He wants to get out and put everything behind him. We'll see if they actually charge him.
And I think I read that his current prison sentence is in the 50-month range or something like that, right? So there is a light at the tunnel for him.
There's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel for him, especially being that he was only charged with 2 Mann Act charges. And not only that, where he's at is a treatment. They do drug rehab and treatment there, and they get time off their sentence for completing programs for good behavior. So his time has been ticking all the way down. But Diddy, from the moment that they slapped the cuffs on him, has not been trying to sit still and serve any kind of sentence because he does not feel that he is guilty of any of these things. And while he sat there and he said that he accepted responsibility for his crimes that he was charged of, he accepted his responsibility for what he did to Cassie, and he was apologetic, and he was ready to take on the consequences of his actions. That has all proved to be bullshit in my eyes, because again, you're still trying to get out. You're not trying to get better. And if all you're doing is focusing on getting out, you're not even focusing on why you're sitting down in the first place, nor are you accepting responsibility for the actions, the pain, the emotional and mental damage that you have inflicted on others. Allegedly, for the channel, allegedly. This is what they're saying they had. I'm not saying that they had it. They said they had it. You are not taking responsibility or accountability for any of this. And so at the end of the day, I still do believe in those things. Now, a lot of people believe those things need to happen. Now, a lot of people have said, you know, Henny, you hate Diddy. I don't hate anyone. I don't know him personally, but I just feel like everybody can't be lying. There has been multitudes of people that have come out and have spoken against Diddy, who have talked about how he has been a tyrant, a bully. They've been blackballed. Their careers have never been the same after leaving Bad Boy, and the proof is in the pudding. Name one person who left Bad Boy who has been successful on a magnified level. Don't worry, I won't wait, because there hasn't been anyone. Now, you do have those who are still touring, who are still doing music, and they're kind of underground with it, but they have not continued to keep that machine behind them. Have you ever wondered why none of these other artists seem to have been picked up by another label? Sitting in that trial, we heard assistant after assistant testify to blackball allegations. Cassie had 2 songs that we know of, okay? But there was catalogs of music that she did that never went to the level of superstardom like the other Bad Boy artists went to when they were a part of the machine. So something ain't clean in the wash, so to speak, when it comes down to things. I still do believe that all of this came to light because of him suing Diageo. That is something that I believe. You can't shake me from that. But at the same time, even with Diageo setting him up as a theory, allegedly, that still does not mean that these actions did not happen either, because there had to be something there in order for Diageo to know that they could get him. You feel me? But speaking of get him, child, did y'all, Henny Glasses in the chat, if y'all saw the freak off tape, because we got to talk about this. Oh, we've got to talk about the Diddy freak off tapes, honey. There is no way we not going to talk about these freak off tapes, because we got to. Gotcha. Okay, I don't even think that I could really, I don't think that I could even play any of her content because she is never dressed fully. Okay, I see only a couple of Henny Glasses. A lot of y'all missed them. A lot of y'all missed the videos. Child, first of all, let me tell you this. You didn't miss much, okay? It was boring. The only excitement that came was when you got to see that the allegations made against Diddy and his packaging were true. Now, Daphne Daphne did make a statement about things, She came out and she made her statement and she was saying how, let me get the statement for y'all because I don't want to misquote her and I don't want to summarize things. But it was something to behold. Let me just say that because sitting in the trial and hearing about the lighting, the red lights, and all of that, and then to actually see the red lights in motion, I was like, oh, wow. So this is what the jury was watching? Did it look consensual, Henny? I mean, it looked it to me. I don't know what her state of mind is. I don't know if she was under the influence of anything. I can't tell. I don't know. All I do know is, as a woman, if you have some small packaging and I'm dissatisfied, I'm going to want to be satisfied some way, somehow. And I think that this is why these freak offs came into play, because the women probably were not satisfied. And so he was looking, I mean, what'd he say? What did he say in that song? He don't understand you like I do. I can show you about a real love, and I can show you everything that I do is just to satisfy you. That was one of my favorite songs, and now it's just all kinds of fucked up. Anyway, so Daphne made a statement after these freak off tapes came out and went viral. And she said that everybody plays the fool sometimes, and I've been the biggest fool. I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. I think he wanted you to be happy and satisfied, mostly. But then again, I can't say that because it was so freaking weird. It was weird because the camera was more so angled at the dude than it was the girl. Like, the camera at one point was just focused on Sly and him humping and pumping. And the only thing that you could see from Daphne was her legs. But you could see the guy. Like, he was the star. Weird shit. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted my man to be satisfied. I wanted to fulfill his desires, even if it meant breaking my own boundaries. I deeply loved him and believed he loved me too. Now, listen, I'm not judging her because people do a lot of things under the guise of love. And she did say when she was testifying that she was with it in the beginning. She was okay with it until she wasn't and didn't want to anymore, okay? It's still so painful for me to process the harsh reality, the truth of the relationship, but as time passes and in my quiet moments, I realize that that it was far from love. The recent leak was a tape I never consented to being filmed on. I was blackmailed by the person in the video and was threatened that if I didn't give him a lump sum of money, that they would leak it to the web. That is called extortion. Yeah, that's extortion. Consent? I mean, you knew you were being filmed. Diddy was walking around with the camera. He was moving around with the cell phone in his hand. So I don't know. But it goes on to say, I almost gave in to the demand, and once I didn't, the person eventually sold the tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. It was the first time I ever fainted in my life. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge porn, and an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. I know they are probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing. Even though years later it came back to haunt me. Okay? It took me all day to find the courage to rewatch my abuse. Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because only I knew the inner turmoil and pressures I felt in those moments, which is true. That's why I said I can't say if she was under the influence or not. I don't know what she was going through. I'm not inside of her head. I'm not inside of her heart. I'm not one of her close friends. I have no idea what this girl was going through, but I know what she testified to. Okay. I was not and was never in my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. Seeing myself so lost is excruciating. I just want to hold that girl in that room and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love and she didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this. I wish so many things were different, but I can't take back the hands of time or turn back the hands of time. I can only continue to move forward and slowly learn to love and trust myself again. I want to love and protect myself as much, so much that I never come across. Hold on, because I have to zoom in. So much so that I never come across such a harmful environment again. This is the first time that I have ever felt a part of my own body and that my body belongs to me. I'm precious, I'm special, I'm worthy. This I promise to hold true in my heart for the woman I am becoming and for the woman I once lost. So that is what Daphne had to say. Now, I'm going to say this. Looking at Daphne's post after this, it's a bit, looking. So she decided to do a Q&A, and one of the questions was, does size matter? And while Daphne does not answer this question, she does entertain it. She does go on to post videos of her dancing to bad boy music. She posted another question that was asked of her that says, do you like being watched? She said, is it hot in here? Is it just me? Q&A tonight. So who knows what else is being asked of her? I think she's trolling at this point in time. Yeah, I think she might be trolling just a little bit. Let's see. King CJ says, I thought Diddy had so much dirt on others. Will he ever use that? Well, what you have to remember is Diddy's home was raided. His electronic devices were taken, which means that whatever Diddy had, he no longer has, unless he has copies in safe deposit boxes or sent off to people he doesn't know, or people that they don't know could possibly have copies of what it is that he has on people. And I guess we'll have to wait to see if he ever. We'll have to see if he ever decides to disclose any of that should he get out of prison. If all of a sudden we start having all of these mysterious leaks after Diddy gets out, we know where it's possibly coming from. On another note, speaking of having dirt on other people, did y'all get to see the Dame Dash? Like, Dame Dash, when I say bitter, oh my God. So y'all know that Jay-Z did the Roots Picnic and he did his 4-minute diss track and diss song. And during the diss song, he dissed the likes of Nicki Minaj, Dame Dash, took shots at Drake. I believe he took shots at Drake. He took a lot of shots at people. Okay, hold on one second. Because Dame Dash, bitter. So for this portion of programming, we are going to turn to the art of dialogue, okay? So let me get this up here because, baby, when I tell you that this Damon Dash, knock it off.
No, Drake. How you feel about him and Jay taking shots at each other?
I think Drake's going to toast him. I'm looking forward to it. If Drake doesn't kill him, then he's out of here. This is easy work for Drake.
So Dame Dash feels that Drake, where's Dogface when I need him? Oh, wait till we do the next podcast together. Do y'all think that Drake will be able to smoke Jay-Z? Drake. Drake. Drake is many things, but to me, he's not a battle rapper. Drake versus Jay-Z. Drake is gonna win. What? Dame, you're bugging. You're bugging. You're bugging.
I think, I don't know, but something's happening. I don't know. Maybe he's baiting him. Maybe he has something on him. But I believe Drake's going to, because you see, Drake's relentless. Like I said, I don't think Drake can handle Kendrick, but I think he'll just, I mean, Jay's like sick. He's an old man.
So wait a minute. You admit that Drake could not handle Kendrick, but you think Drake is going to handle Jay-Z. Damon. You're I need to get that on my soundboard. What? You're bugging.
Like the other day, this dude came in here and he acted inappropriately, but he was 80. And I had to tell him, I'm like, bro, 40 years ago, I would have had to fuck you up, but you're 80. So it's like, it's almost going to be like abusive for Drake to punish this like that.
Damon Dash. Is sitting here saying that it would basically be like senior abuse for Drake to body Jay-Z while saying that Drake would body Jay-Z. That Jay-Z can't handle Drake because he's old. What?
It's basically based on what I just saw. He needs to go to like he needs to get back in rock star shape. He don't got the breath like he used to. Pause. Like not even, he wasn't that, you know, I think I'm curious to see what Drake's going to do. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what Nicki Minaj is going to do. These are all people that actually can rap these days. They can still rap. I know for sure Big Daddy Kane will kill Jay right now. You saw once they said that shit, Big Daddy Kane was like, blah, 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 blah. No dissing nobody, no nothing. Just still Big Daddy Kane. Jay can't do that no more.
Yo, this man can never, he will never. Jay-Z could go out here and open up a school of the performing arts in Brooklyn. He could go give away, like shut down a whole mall and select a few kids from the neighborhood to go school shopping and get whatever they want for the year. And he will never give him his props.
And then I know, like, I felt like, and I don't know if it was AI or something, but when he actually said the rhyme, I saw people booing.
AI, that video was not he heard people. Are your delusion? Wait a minute. Maybe we might need to get an evaluation on Dame, because you heard people booing. Where, sir? Where were they booing?
I didn't see this crowd go crazy like it was a mic drop. I think people were like, the teeth. I got Dr. I can guarantee you my teeth are better than Jay's, and that my breath smells better. Pause. My teeth are more expensive than Jay's. Ask Dr. Appa. Just go to Instagram and go to Dr. Appa Aesthetics or Appa Aesthetics and look at my dentist. And go to his dentist, and then you're gonna know why they chew Big Red and it smells like doodoo.
Okay, first of all, cinnamon dookie is something that I never want to experience. But how can you say that your dentist is better than Jay-Z's dentist when we watched your teeth fall out your mouth, sir? We have never seen teeth fall out of Jay-Z's mouth ever. So can you please explain to us how your dentist is better than this is where we've gotten to, like, Dame, like, this is all you can say. You're going to say that the video was AI enhanced to have people cheering, and that my dentist is better than yours? Are you serious?
With cinnamon sprinkled on it, which is nauseating.
But I do think a battle between Drake and Jay, that would be competitive. I mean,
Yeah.
Jay, he still raps at a high level. I mean, me personally, the freestyle was dope, so.
That shit was terrible, bro. You know it was terrible.
Look at his face. He's just disgusted that Art is saying to him that the freestyle was up to par, bro. He's like, oh, that shit was terrible. This is what a hater looks like, bro. This is what it looks like. This is what I was talking about the other night. Jeez Louise.
That's just emotion, bro. But logically, that shit was terrible. And is any young kid saying it was good? Name one young kid that said it was good.
I haven't heard anybody say that it was bad. I haven't. I mean, maybe there are people out there that are saying it was terrible, it was horrible, boo, whatever. But for the masses, no. I did see where Jaguar responded on Real Life Street Stars, but she didn't really have much to say. Like, I don't know. So, T-Sip, are you talking about when she was with Real Life Street Stars, or did she respond on her channel? Because if she responded on her channel, then I'm not going to review that, because I'm not taking no chances with Jaguar. Miss Wright will not strike my channel. And yes, certified hater. For real, bro. For real.
Name, like people love Jay, but they better be careful. But they don't want to dress like him. I don't see you with no funny afro or no stupid ass doodle wigs. When has he done anything creative? When has he done hit anything in this century?
What? Okay. Doodle wicks and an afro is crazy. Like, do you hear this venom just spewing out of his mouth? Like, what are we doing here? How long ago did Rockefeller break up and you are still acting? This is the definition of somebody stomping around like a child who had their tricycle taken from them. That is what Dame Dash gives me. I'm sorry. He does. Grumpy Grandpa Dame.
Just let him relax, man. Let him start a GoFundMe or something.
Why would Jay-Z need a GoFundMe? Like, his net worth is, why would... He's pissing me off.
I want him to do better. If you're gonna diss me, better rhymes than that. That shit was whack. That was whack. My interviews are way better than all his records. Any record, every interview I've done has been better than every song that he's done. And his interviews are terrible. He just offends people. I think he has, like, I got the earpiece here. I know that someone's telling him what to say in the earpiece. He's not. I think there's someone telling him what to say now. I'm cutting this thing up. Hey, Jay, I'm cutting you up right now. How about that?
Cutting him up how? Wait. His interviews are better than any song that Jay-Z has done. There has to be a short in my headphones because I know I ain't hear that properly. What is he talking about, y'all?
You want to start playing? I'll heat your ass up. Pause. Real easy, like I always did. You can't take jokes. But you started with jokes.
But his jokes aren't even that funny. Okay, you got a chuckle out of the cinnamon sprinkled dookie, but that was it.
But above and beyond suing me and taking me to court and accusing me of shit I didn't do and all that shit that most people would like be really upset about, you still my nigga. I still have compassion for you. Don't work too hard. I know your knees hurt. I know your chest was hurting. And stay healthy, man. We need you, bro.
We need you, bro? After you just said he was trash?
Don't go too hard.
So with that being said, is it any way you and Jay can come to a common ground?
Yeah. He has
Now,
to cut that stupid haircut off. And he has to send some money over.
he will come to a common ground if Jay-Z cuts his hair and sends money over to him. To me, that's telling me that that's what this is all about for Dame. It's about money. This is about Dame still feeling salty about Rockefeller Records and feeling salty at the success that Jay-Z has had. Because what are we talking about here? It's not like he said we could sit and we could have a conversation and have a meeting of the minds and squash our beef. Dame has harped on what happened to him with Rockefeller and how he feels that Jay-Z snaked him out of the Rockefeller deal. And imagine sitting back and watching somebody just, and they left you in the dust. You know who else feels away? And shout out to him, D Haven. Now, for those of you who don't know, D Haven was a friend of Jay-Z's who was incarcerated. And he said him and Jay-Z was out in them streets busting they little 1-2-1-2s in and out of state. And when he got incarcerated and took them charges, Jay-Z left him there. And that Jay-Z has been living off of his story. Yeah. If you don't know, you need to check D Haven out. I can review some of his stuff too. But D Haven has been feeling away. But to me, I feel like D Haven has more of a, like, Dame, come on. If you've built it once, built it again, what's taking him so long to actually launch something that could reach to the heights? If he's saying he was the brains and the operation behind Rockefeller Records' success, then why are we not in a level of success right now? I'm not saying that Dame is broke. I'm not saying that Dame hasn't had some accomplishments in his life, because clearly he's still sitting on some type of status. But what's holding you back, Dame? Are you blackballed from the industry because of the fact that you have ruined relationships with people and you're blaming that on Jay-Z?
Oh shit, he might not have none. I don't know, man. I don't really feel like it though. It's not like I don't want to hang out with, I don't want to smell his breath, bro. I don't want to smell Big Red with doodoo. Why would I want to do that? And there's beautiful women around me and I'm doing the things I love. I left before. You know, I don't want to look how I dress and look how he dresses.
Okay, so let's look at the outfit. He's got on a flight jacket with some patches on it. Okay, he's got on a CEO cap, a white t-shirt, some fatigues with some crowry shells going down it. Jay-Z, mostly when we see him, he's dressed in suits and stuff. I mean, to me, Jay-Z can still dress like Dame. What are we talking about here?
Look at my swag. Look at his. Look at my hairstyle. Look at his hairstyle.
You're bald.
I don't have any hair.
Right, you don't.
But I'm not going to put a wig on.
That wasn't a wig. And I've seen multiple people say this, that, oh, it's a wig, it's a wig. He combed his wigs out, y'all.
I'm not even going to dye my hair. I'm definitely not putting doodoo wigs on me.
How can you dye what you don't have or wick what you don't have either, Dame?
He's not from Miami.
No,
I don't get it.
He's from Brooklyn with two
Like,
legs.
why you want to look like an octopus? I didn't get any of it. And I'm not a rapper. That's another thing. So the only way I'm gonna eat, he did a diss record. So this is a diss interview. The stream is a stream, bro.
Okay, if y'all would like to watch the rest of that interview, y'all can head over to Art of Dialogue and watch the rest of it because it's just he continues to ramble nonsensically. He is completely upset with Jay-Z, and he said, "You did a diss record, I'm going to do a diss interview." But it's just really, to me, it's showing the bitterness that Dame Dash still holds and that he has not let go of this decades-long grudge that he has been holding against Jay-Z. So, and understand this, in this situation, I'm speaking as I have my own personal thoughts, opinions, and views when it comes down to Jay-Z, but that is not up for discussion right now because that is not what we're talking about. But I believe that Jay-Z actually opened up a can of worms because it seems to be that there is some more beef that is a brewing in New York that is going down. I'm just going to mention it briefly here. I'm not going to get too much into it because um I need to get all of the stuff situated and together. But it looks like Griselda Records 38 Special is calling out Jadakiss because he's saying that Jada is ducking working with him. And so he has done a couple of interviews. I saw one on Bag Fuel, and he did another one with Danza, with the Danza Project. Shout out to Danza. And he talks about it there where they did a song called Sunday Service, and 38 Special said he had the best verse on the song and that he bodied Jadakiss. And since then, Jadakiss has not wanted to work with him again. And so he's calling Top 5 to get on the mic and meet him in the studio. But Jada seems like he's not interested in this. So it looks like there may be some old hip hop beef that starts to come bubbling back to the surface. And I think that Jay-Z may have woke up the culture because before that, I stick to what I say. When I said that hip hop was dead, I'm not saying that hip hop is dead in the sense of where it does not exist. When I say hip hop is dead, I mean the culture, the essence of it all. I mean the battling, the battle raps, the style, the influence, the versatility of it all. I'm saying that that is not something that is popularized any longer. You have plenty of artists out there that still hold on to the essence of what hip hop originally was: storytelling, excuse me, metaphors, being able to freestyle. All of those things matter in hip hop. We don't really have that anymore. But there are still a lot of artists out there who still are holding the torch for what hip hop, what the origins of hip hop are, in my humble opinion. But it doesn't make it to mainstream. In my humble opinion, people like 38 Special, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Shay Noir, and a whole host of others. And I'm only mentioning them because shout out to New York, The Locks, Nas, Jay-Z, even like all of the old school rappers, Wu-Tang Clan, all of them that come out and still drop things here and there. You never know that they dropped anything because it does not go viral. This generation that is a part of the hip hop culture, they don't respect the hip hop culture. They don't believe in paying homage anymore to those who came before them. You don't hear a lot of people saying that old school rappers, because that's what they would be considered now in this new age. You don't, yes, Kendrick Lamar as well. You don't see them paying homage and saying, "Oh yeah, I was influenced by." And I don't expect them to say that they were influenced by like Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, and I don't expect them to say they were influenced by them. But you don't really hear too many people saying that they were influenced by a Nas, by a Mobb Deep, by Jay-Z, by Tupac, by Biggie. They don't even mention old school people. You have people, they don't even say they were influenced by Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that they mention that has influenced them or inspired them to become rap artists is somebody that is a part of this drill rap culture or this new wave of where hip hop has gone, which I don't even consider that to be real hip hop. I don't. And that's just my opinion, and people don't have to agree with me on it. But culturally, even when you go to a Hot 97 Summer Jam or Powerhouse for Power 105 in New York, those are big concerts that are hip hop driven. The last time I went when the old school artists came out, only the old heads knew their songs. Now, if you want to go, say you go to Hot 97 Summer Jam, I'm only using them as an example. This is not slander towards them at all. Say you wanted to go to them today. Because, oh yeah, they're gonna have Nas. Oh, Nas is gonna be at Summer Jam. A lot of us are gonna want to go to see Nas. But in order for you to see Nas, you're gonna have to sit through some people that you may not know. You're gonna have to sit and listen to some music that you may not know the lyrics to, because we don't understand everybody. Not only that, there was versatility in hip hop back in the day. You had people like Leaders of the New School, you had Onyx, you had a variety of people. They had the conscious rappers, they had the street rappers who were the storytellers that told the stories of the hood. They weren't self-snitching. They were telling what was going on in the hood, and you could relate it to any hood near you. You had De La Soul. You had, Tribe Called Quest. You had conscious rappers. You had a variety of artists. Now everybody talks about the same thing. Let's get high. Let's commit crimes and rap about it. And let's fuck on everybody. Even the females that are in the game nowadays is over-sexualized. You don't have very many female rappers, if at all, that are speaking with intellect. There's no Queen Latifah out here anymore. There's no Salt and Pepper. There's all, and no offense, because I love me some Little Kim, Queen B. I am a part of the original, the true Beehive, which was Little Kim's fan base was called the Beehive before Beyonce even stepped into the music industry. I'm a part of the original Beehive. But everybody wants to be a Little Kim or a Foxy Brown. Then you've got an artist like Shay Noir who has a song out that when I heard it, it resonated with my spirit. Like, as a female that's been in the streets, that's dealt with dudes that are from the streets, she was speaking my life for me. And I'm older than her. But she raps and I resonate because I'm like, I come from that. Yes, I know about being out there. Yes, I know about, feeling bad because your man is locked up in prison and you not writing him like you supposed to, but you trying to take care and hold everything down and you regretting the lifestyle that y'all was living. But, it's what was keeping the household. I understand. I understand the grit of being a female out there in them streets, moving as a female and not as a thought, hustling as a female. I understand that. You don't have that anymore. And the females that are rapping like that are getting overlooked for the over-sexualized females in the industry. And some of them will never see a deal because the labels want to see them get their bodies done to look like cookie cutter cutouts. You don't have anyone feeding morale any longer. And so when I say hip hop is dead, that's what I mean by it. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist anymore. It's just drowned out by the machine. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been a long time since I've done a variety show where I talked about more than just one topic. And I salute to everybody who stayed from the beginning to the end, or from whatever point you came in and you stayed to this point. I appreciate you so, so very much. I will be cutting this video up and putting it out for you guys. Possibly. I don't know. But I will be making videos. I keep saying this to you guys because I need you guys to understand that. I am going to start recording some videos, so I need y'all to run those videos up the same way you run these lives up. Make sure that you guys join me on Twitch, because eventually that's going to be where we will be breaking down all of the court docs and reading them at length. And clips of that will be over here, and summaries, or, just a briefing of what the court doc is about will be discussed over here during the lives because those court docs take forever. In the meantime and in between time, thank you, everybody. Make sure that you lean on the like on the way out. And remember to always vibe high so the bullshit doesn't stick. Make sure that you pray to the Most High God and keep you and your family covered in these hard times. I love each and every one of y'all. Peace, everybody.